Actors are annoying anyway. All that calling each other darling. Start her up.
Yes, darling.
Hello everyone, my name is Manari. I'm the festival director and founder of the MiraBan UK Film Awards. And today I have the pleasure to introduce you to Eric Mazimpaka, the director of Africa, a Kung Fu story. Together with us, there is our documentary juror, Thomas Dehe. Welcome to you both.
Welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. This documentary is a beautiful story that shows a group of professionals, including stunt performers, fight directors, cinematographer, and writers who travel to Tanzania to impart filmmaking skills to a school, to young Shaolin martial artists. So it's definitely a very unusual documentary. We've never had something like that. It's super original, and I'm so grateful, Eric, for this story arriving at the MiraBan UK Film Awards. So before we actually jump into the Q&A session, let's watch the trailer, and then we'll ask you a few.
I couldn't finish watching the reel because it encompassed everything. I could see my whole life from the beginning to the end.
I've been fortunate enough to be a stunt performer based out of Vancouver, British Columbia for the last 8 years. I think culturally, the combination of me being part of the diaspora, a person who left Africa and is still connected to it, I felt a draw towards going back to Africa and facilitating a workshop that would kind of help sharpen skill sets to be better filmmakers.
This should be like a record-setting work that we do, because the things that we do were never done before. Like this might be the first Shaolin Kung Fu documentary in Africa that can capture the real essence of Kung Fu in Africa.
Hopefully, well, we'll see what happens on this trip.
Every once in a while, a project comes along where it's wholesome, and you're like, hey, like this, it's a feel good.
You know, we fight a lot of battles that people don't see. We fight against stress, against confusion, against self-doubt. So through martial arts, this is something you need to come to understand in order to win those battles.
I'm super excited. I don't know how to explain my excitement, but I'm super excited. You know, I'm excited to, to see how we can work together to create something exceptional, something good, beautiful. So when we go back and look at it 10 years to come, we'll say that we did something.
I want to see this thing to the end, right?
We'll make it good.
Amazing. Wow. All right. Well, first question, obviously, how this just came to your mind and how did you made it? How was this realized, production wise?
I actually got kind of emotional watching it because for 14 years I've been trying to go to Africa and do a documentary. In 2009, I got into fine arts. You can see some of my paintings in the back. And immediately there was a draw to East African figures and the rich tapestry of colors and all. And originally I wanted to go do a documentary about the rise of contemporary art in Rwanda. But I had no film experience. I wasn't in film, never shot anything. And then slowly through that year, I started my first short film just so I could apply for production grants to go shoot this documentary. And through that process, I actually accidentally ended up falling into film and becoming a professional stuntman. And so I took it as a lesson of I'm not ready yet to go. And I spent the last 12 years as a professional stuntman in order to learn the skills and be proficient enough. And through that period, I met Mr. Umfame on YouTube, and immediately the two worlds came together. And instead of contemporary art, it was now martial arts. And instead of Rwanda, it was Tanzania that kind of drew me there. And so I saw the inherent talent they had. I just saw they were missing the support. And any creative knows how much support can go. And in 2016, I contacted Umfame. We became friends right away. 2018, I went down there to shoot a short film with them. And I saw that how far they could go. So me and my friends got together and we came up with the idea to go shoot a workshop. So instead of us telling their story, we could teach them the skills so they can tell their own story. And so it's been about, 1.5 decades of trying to find a way to build a bridge between opportunities in North America and talent in East Africa. And so that's the quick version of how I kind of ended up in Africa and falling into film and all that.
So, and you're based in Canada, right? So it's
yes, yeah.
Nice. Wow.
Yeah.
Such an extraordinary journey. Thomas, I'll hand it over to you. I'm sure you have lots of questions for Eric.
Yeah, when I was watching the documentary, I was thinking of what Ridley Scott said. He said, we are not the motion picture industry, but the emotion picture industry. And the emotion is a big part of it. And most of the time, sometimes I would say, we don't think about emotion with documentary because we think it's something that is pretty much, it's important to give some information and we think it's enough, and we forget about the emotional part. And your movie is very much emotional. So how did you manage that? Did you expect to be so moved this way?
No. We ended up learning more from them than we immigrated out of Africa when I was about 4 into Sweden. And then from Sweden, we made our way to Canada. And there's something that I learned from my therapist, the term survivor's guilt. And I didn't realize there was this tremendous amount of survivor's guilt I felt having an opportunity to live in a place where I can get the education I seek, have the support I need, and be in a system that is conducive to helping the youth. And so when I went there, I was profoundly touched about the community they have and the things we consider third world. Somehow they're like the children were just, it was overwhelming. Like the wisdom some of these young kids have at a young age because of the environment they grow up in was vastly more emotional than I thought I would be. I'm, professional athlete. I tried to keep everything together, but there was a moment we went into the space that all the kids sleep in, and after I witnessed, them pulling out the mats, and how happy they were, I had to go to the back of their house and cry. Because now I have a kid. And the thought of him being forced to kind of like not forced, but not having an opportunity to like sleep in a like a safe environment. They are safe, but just it really humbled me in a way that made me hope that I can pursue this and kind of give them more opportunities so they can kind of build a future for themselves. It was a lot, and some of the kids in the theater, they've never seen themselves on a big screen, and to see how transformative cinema can be, and that's the beauty. I actually witnessed what film is supposed, the essence of transporting a kid's imagination in a way that no other art form can really do. You know, the moving soundtrack from our incredible composer, like his music just speaks to my soul. Seeing those kids look at the big screen was one of the most deeply spiritual and awe-inspiring moments I was allowed to experience as a human. And it profoundly made me fall in love with film even more. And yeah, it was an emotional experience. I spent a lot of months crying after I got back, because just seeing what the kids are making right now and creating is so inspiring. Yeah.
100%. Thank you. Thomas, do you have any other questions?
No, I just you did a great job in transmitting that. You know, it's very humble. We can feel that you were moved by them, and we feel that. And I just hope that some of these kids not do only fiction movies about martial arts, kung fu, but also maybe would be interested in making documentaries. This is my hope.
Yeah, no, that's kind of the hope. I've slowly I'm trying to start a nonprofit in order to kind of supplement and help them, kind of like tuition. But I'm currently going through that process of learning what that means and how to even approach that. And then hopefully by the time some of these kids get into their 20s, they're, you know, documentarians, you know, they're telling their own personal story. And it's liberating to see once they have the tools, how they decide to choose to run with them.
That's excellent. Yeah. I'm afraid it is the end of our live stream, because it's just a sneaky peek for each film. But thank you so much for being so, you know, honest and humble and, you know, emotional as well. It's really great. And what you're trying to do, it definitely brings change, and it proves that cinema is not just you know, a hard form for, you know, aesthetics. It can actually move and change the world. So you are it. And thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
A couple of reminders for our audience, but yes, of course, you want to say anything else?
Yeah, I just wanted to say one last thing about cinema is that inherently humans for hundreds of thousands of years have told stories around fires. And we've gathered around these flames to tell these stories, and it's translated into now cinema, the screens being the light that tell us the story. So I think it's integral what you guys do, and thank you so much for, you know, showcasing artists' work and allowing them a voice. And I really appreciate what you guys do. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you so much for saying that. It's really, you know, it's a touch on the heart for every one of us, everyone working behind the scenes on this. So just a couple of reminders for our audience. I hope you enjoyed this live stream, and if that made you curious about this documentary, please do come at the Ealing Picture House Cinema on the 13th and 14th of December, and please do check out our festival tickets, £20 for 2 days of screenings and industry talks. Plus, we have the Industry Film Forum on the first day, where you'll have access to mentoring, speed dates, workshops, and additional industry talks. Also, if you want to vote for this film to support it, and if you are abroad, you're not able to attend the festival, you can still watch it on the Streamateur platform. You can simply register, and if you want to vote for it to win the Best Film Audience Award, you simply add it to your favorites inside your account. So thank you so much again, Eric, for being with us. Thank you, Tomas. And thank you, Carlo, in the back office to support us. Bye for now, but we hope to see you soon.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah.
Bye.